everyone, thanks for joining me. My name is Ariella and I have a scalable yoga basics class for you. This one's going to be a little bit more intense than some of our other yoga basics class, but there are so many variations so that you can do this class to meet where you are at. So I'm going to walk you through all of those variations, so don't even worry about it. But it is going to be a little bit more intense right out the gate, and I hope you enjoy that. So as with all of my classes, I am not going to be playing any music, so get yourself your favorite playlist if you like to play music, sync it up with using another device or however you have your videos playing. You can absolutely contact me for any suggestions. I have some music out on Spotify, some playlists, not actual music. I'm an awful musician. I personally don't have music, but I have some playlists that are available on Spotify if you would like to listen to those. And I'm also not going to lead you into Shavasana, but I'm not going to lead you out of Shavasana. So once you are in, I will say my goodbyes, and you can just hang out in Shavasana for as long or as little as you like. And as with any class, even though that is the third time that I've said that, as with any class, take what you need, leave what you don't. Do whatever feels good in your body. If something feels awful in your body, please don't do it. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. My contact information is all over the place. And we will get started. So we're going to get started in an easy seated position, whatever that is for you. I'm sitting on a blanket to lift my hips up a little bit. You can sit in a chair. You can sit wherever you like. You can keep your legs crossed and keep them straight out. Whatever easy seated in a comfortable position means to you. So if you feel like closing your eyes, I invite you to do so. Or just keep your gaze soft. Maybe looking toward the tip of your nose. And just start to take some big breaths in through your nose. And then sigh them out. Nice and deep. Just do that a couple of times, and every time you sigh out your exhale, let something go. Let go something that no longer serves you. Let go something you don't want to carry with you. Let go anything you are absolutely done with. And when you're ready, start to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Nice and slowly. And then with every inhale, breathe in something good. Breathe in something that you want to let into your life. Maybe it's more empathy. Maybe it's more patience. Maybe it's more compassion. So with every inhale, just imagine breathing in all of those good feelings. And it's part of your practice. It's an intention. Thought or an idea to focus on or work towards. I invite you to do so. And when you're ready, take one last big inhale. One last deep exhale. Open up your eyes if they're closed. And we're going to come right into tabletop for our warm-up. So if you're like me and you like to have a little bit of padding for your knees, I invite you to grab a blanket. You can be like me and use 2 mats. Bring your hips over your knees, your shoulders about over your wrists. You can keep them a little bit wider, you can keep them a little bit forward. You can come up onto your fists if that feels better. Or you can come down onto your forearms. Ideally a little bit lifted. So if you have blocks or bolster or like a thick pillow or something, then you can do this as well if your wrists don't feel great. But wherever you are, come into your table. I'm going to start with some cat and cow. So inhale, lower your belly, tailbone to the sky, chest is broad. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your tailbone, chin to your chest. Inhale, lifting your head, broadening through your chest. Exhale, round. And just continue on with this motion, following your own breath. And if you feel like you need to hang out in one or the other, I invite you to do so. Sometimes you might want to hang out in cat. Maybe you want to hang out in cow. I screwed those up. This one's cat. The other one's cow. When you're ready, come back into a neutral tabletop and extend your right foot out, tucking your back toes, pressing through your heel. And then take your foot, lifting it up, and bring it to the left corner of your mat. Press again through your heel. Slowly release back to tabletop. We'll do the other side. Extend your left foot out, tucking your back toes. Pressing through the heel. You may feel this in your calf or in the back of your leg. You may not feel this at all. We all feel it differently. Lift your left foot up, coming to the right corner of your mat. And release. And from here, we're actually going to come into a low crescent with our knee down. So bring your right leg, bring it out like we did before, and then with intention, bring your foot in between your hands. Okay, so if you have blocks, I like to use blocks here. So now your right knee is bent, knee is about over the ankle. Maybe it's a little bit behind, but for the purposes of this posture, we don't want our knee past our ankle. Now if you'd like, you can tuck your toes, and you can bring your knee back a little bit, bringing space into the hip. And from here, we're going to take a twist. So bring your left hand down to the mat or to your block. Right hand will come up. If you'd like, you can take a half bind here and bring that top hand down towards your lower back. These half binds help me open up my shoulder. This is just a gentle twist. And slowly bring your hands back down. Coming back into our low lunge. Pause. And then from here, we're going to come back into our tabletop. So if you have a block, you can always move your hand or your block to the inside of your right foot. And we're slowly going to move our foot back, coming back into table. And we'll do the other side. Extend the left leg out, and then nice and tension. The rotation of the hips. So we're going to bring that foot to the inside of our hands. If you're feeling like bringing your foot to the inside of your hands doesn't feel good in your body or doesn't feel accessible, you can bring your foot towards the edge of the mat and bring both hands inside. This is a lizard variation. And if this feels better in your body, stay here. This feels better in my body, personally. So if this feels better in your body, to give a little bit more space to your hips and maybe whatever you have in front, then absolutely do it. We're gonna have the same twist here. So bringing the right hand down, left arm comes up. Take the half bind here. And release. And when you're ready, you can start to walk that foot around. Nice rotation of the hips, coming back into tabletop. Fantastic. And from here, we're going to extend the right leg back again, coming into a supported side plank. Come onto the side of the foot, kickstand out the knee. Left hand, weight comes into your left hand, hips open up, right hand comes up. So this is a supported side plank here. It's also a variation of half moon. We're going to be doing side planks later. So I want you to keep this in mind if you feel like this is a better option for you. If you want to practice your balance, you can bring that back leg up. If you'd like to add a side stretch, you can bring your top arm towards your ear. Increase the stretch by bringing the leg down. So this is balance. This would be stretch. And release, arm coming back nice and slow. Hand comes down first, then knee, rock side to side. And then other side. Extend the left foot out, kickstand out the foot, come onto the side of the foot. Weight comes into the right hand, left arm comes up. And again, you can stay here, you can work on balance. Stretch. So play with it, see what works best for you. See what your body needs today. And when you're ready, bring the hand down and then bring the leg down. From here, we're going to come into our first downward dog of class. So tuck the toes. And then to start, we're going to hover the knees a few inches off the ground. So stay here. Engage the pelvic floor. And then lifting through the hips. Come into your downward facing dog. You can adjust as you need. I'm going to move my blanket. If you need to, you can keep your feet and your hands a little bit wider. You can pedal out your feet here if you'd like. Lifting through the hips. And now you have two options to come into your forward fold. You can walk your feet to your hands, coming into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Or you can walk your hands to your feet, coming into a forward fold at the back of your mat. So I'm going to let you choose which one you like to do and make your way into a forward fold. So let your head hang heavy. You can open up your feet here a little bit more if you'd like. Bend your knees as much as you need. It's going to be a bit of an intense hamstring stretch. So especially to start, you might need to keep your knees a little bit bent. Lifting up through the hips. So we're not bending down from the back, we're lifting up through the hips, and that increases the stretch in our hamstrings, which is why you may need to bend your knees a little bit more. And we're going to slowly make our way up to a standing position, one vertebrae at a time, head coming up last. Inhale, shrug your shoulders. Exhale, send them down and back. If you are at the back of your mat like I am, take a few steps to the top of your mat. Grab a drink. if you need. And we're going to do a few rounds of sun salutations. So we're going to start with the lowest intensity sun salutation, working our way up to the highest intensity one, and you can stay at whatever intensity that you like. So we'll go through them, and then at the end you can choose which one you feel is best. Well, at any point you can choose which one is the best for your body. So we'll start bringing our feet to a comfortable distance apart. You can bring them to 2 fists if you'd like. You can bring them wider, you can bring them closer, whatever feels most comfortable in your body. So inhale, bring the arms up, reaching nice and tall. Exhale, forward fold, you can swan dive, or you can bring your hands to the heart center. Your hands can stay here, or they can come to your shins for support. Inhale, halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale, release. Plant your hands, and then step your feet back, bringing your knees down for a supported plank. Bending your elbows, bringing them so that they're pointing towards your feet. Come all the way down, that's your chaturanga. Inhale, lifting your chest up, cobra, looking straight ahead, just above the tips of your fingers. So you're not looking up, your neck should stay neutral. And then on an exhale, release. Inhale, tuck your toes, press yourself back up to that supported plank on your knees. Inhale, and then on your exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, you can look between your hands, and on your exhale, you can walk your feet back, you walk your hands back, or your feet forward, coming into a forward fold. Half lift, and release. And with an inhale, rise up, hands coming up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. If you're at the back of your mat, take a few steps forward to the front. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, and release. Take an inhale, slip back to plank as we're increasing our intensity. You can come up with your knees up, engaging through the core. And on your exhale, bend your elbows, chaturanga, all the way down to the mat, untucking your toes. Inhale, cobra. Now, on your exhale, tuck your toes and go right to downward facing dog. Inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, move into a forward fold. You're moving forward or back. Halfway lift and release. Rise up on an inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center, moving to the top of your mat if you are at the back. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift and release. Inhale, plant your hands to plank. Chaturanga. So now you're going halfway down to come into up dog. downward facing dog. Inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, come to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise up. Hands touching at the top. Exhale, hands are at center. So now you've seen 3 sun salutations in varying intensities. Pick the one or a mix of one that feels best in your body, if you haven't done so already. I'm going to do one using blocks. Inhale and fold. Halfway lift and release. Plant your hands, come back to your plank. Exhale, come to your chaturanga. Inhale, come to your cobra or your up dog. Exhale, come to your downward facing dog. Inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, travel into a forward fold. Halfway lift and release. Rise up, hands touching at the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. And from here, we're going to work on a little bit of balance. So if you want to pause and set up near a chair or a wall, you are welcome to do so. I'm going to bring my chair a little bit closer because even though I regularly do this flow in my personal practice, doing it while talking really affects my balance. So from here, come to the top of your mat, feet about 2 fist width distance apart or wherever they feel comfortable. And then inhale yourself down to chair, bending your knees, lifting your chest. Your hands can be up, heart center, or at your hips. So choose whatever feels best for you today. If your hands are up, keep your shoulders away from your ears. Now from here, bring your hands to heart center. Bring the weight into your left foot, lifting your right, coming into a one-legged mountain. This is where you might want to have something to balance if you need. Practicing your balance. And now slowly bring the right foot back, kicking your body into warrior 3, and then slowly coming down into crescent. So for crescent, your back toes are tucked, your front knee is bent, your hips are square to the front of the room. If this doesn't feel good in your body, you can always come back down onto your knee where we were before. So for crescent, you can keep your hands at your hips, heart center, or lifted. Wherever you are, keep your chest open, reaching for the sky with your gaze. Then we're going to come into warrior 2. So spin that back heel down, open up the hands toward the side of your mat. So your back foot, the pinky toe edge of your foot is parallel with the back of your mat. Your front foot, your toes are facing forward to the front of your mat. Hips are open to the side, chest is open, gaze is over your left fingertips. So it's very tempting to look to the side, but we're actually looking forward. On an inhale, flip your palm, on an inhale, flip your front palm up and bring it back to reverse warrior. Your back hand can rest on your thigh You can bring it for a half bind. And then release. Coming back into warrior two. Now we're going to come into extended side angle. So tip forward, bringing the left hand to the inside of the left knee. If you have a block here, you can use it. Right arm is coming on top of the head. I'm tired and I can't talk. I filmed a prenatal class before this one, so now I'm tired. So there is a line-ish from your fingertips to the back of your foot. And from here, if you want to add a little bit more core work, you can lift this arm up. And release, back to warrior two. Inhale, exhale, cartwheeling the hands down. So now both your hands are on either side of your foot. I'm bringing them to blocks, coming into runner's lunge. And this is where our side plank is going to come into play. Sweep the left foot back. Bring the weight into the left hand. Now you can come into a supported side plank, or you can come into full side plank. Wherever you are, release. Coming back into plank. Press up into downward facing dog. And come into a forward fold. Either at the top or back of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. And then slowly rise up. On your inhale, exhale to heart center. If you are at the back of your mat, you can move forward. Move my chair. Bolster out of the way. And prepare for the other side. So from here, bringing your feet back to 2 fist width distance. Inhale, back to your chair. If your hands are up, bring them to heart center. And slowly shift the weight so that's coming into your right foot this time. Coming into one-legged mountain. Slowly come forward, moving into warrior three, using a chair or a wall to work on your balance, moving into crescent. So again, coming down to your knee if you'd like. Otherwise, hips square, chest, lift it, regardless of where your arms are. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, open up. Warrior two. I need to adjust your stance so your heel is in line with your back heel or arch. Gaze is forward. Nice, strong warrior. If you feel like you're too hot, on your exhale, you can always do an open mouth exhale. That releases the heat. Inhale, fill up your front palm and send it back for reverse warrior. Release back to warrior two. Coming back into extended side angle. So this time my right hand is going to the inside of our right leg. If you have a block here, you can use it. Left arm comes at an angle. So now there is a nice line from the tips of our fingers to our feet, to our foot. Again, you can come here. You really want to work on strengthening. Release. Coming back into warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down. so that both hands are now coming on the either side of your feet. I'm using blocks here. You don't have to. Sweep the right foot back, and you can come into your side plank. So either your full side plank, ooh, this block is too high for me, that side plank, my arms are too short. So your full side plank, or your supported side plank. Both are equal in its objective of opening the hips and chest. Come back down, coming into your plank, or on your knees, or up on your toes. Move into your downward dog when you're ready. Moving in to your forward fold, half lift, and release. Rise up. Whew. Exhale to heart center. Take a break, take a breath. Take some water before we move into our next posture. When you're ready, come to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold, half lift, and release. Plant your hands, move into your plank. Bring your knees down if they're not down already, and then come into child's pose. So bring your hips to your heels, your knees can be wider together. You can keep your hands up toward the top of your mat, or if you prefer them down by your feet, you can do that too. I personally don't like that, so that's why I don't do it. It is the more traditional variation of the pose. So just come to your breath. Recenter yourself on your mat. Come back up to your tabletop. Come into a seated position, bringing your feet out long. And we're going to come down onto our backs nice and slow, engaging our core as we do. So inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, lower down, nice and slow. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath as you're doing this. When your shoulders touch the mat or the floor, bring your knees into your chest. Rock side to side. Do some hip circles. Bring your arms out like a T. And lower your knees down. Right, coming onto your right hip. And come back up to the center. Bringing your knees down to the left. You need a little bit more support. You can always bring a blanket or a bolster underneath your knees. Mine just have to be placed in the right spot to offer a little bit of support. Center, and bring your feet back up towards the ceiling. You can use your hands behind your thighs. This is just a gentle inversion. Take care doing this if you have glaucoma or high blood pressure. Slowly bring your feet down to the mat. And you can can take any other postures that feel good to round out your practice. Maybe you take happy baby, maybe you take shoulder stand or another kind of inversion. Then when you're ready, you can move yourself into Shavasana. You can lay back on your back, you can sit in your bed, you can sit in a chair. Just come to wherever you feel like you can find some moment of stillness. And when you're ready, you can focus on your breath. And I will leave you here after saying my goodbyes to enjoy your Shavasana for as long as you'd like. I invite you to bring your hands to your heart, to feel it beat, and feel your chest rise and fall with your breath. Show yourself gratitude today for your mat, for coming to your mat, for your practice. Say thank you to your body for everything that is done for you today and every day. I bow my head in gratitude to you for letting me be a part of your journey. The light in me honors the light in you. Until next time.